All right, what is up, everybody? This is Rants, aka Darth Lugia, and welcome to a short video I wanted to make as kind of me practicing making videos again, but specifically today we're going to be talking about 2XKO. So the first thing that we're going to talk about in this video specifically, because I'm going to do another video where I kind of review my thoughts on Season 0 and the game as a whole, is take a look at the peek into the patch notes. We don't have the patch notes quite yet. Those are supposed to drop, I think they said on the 20th, if not the 19th, the night before Season 1 officially launches and before the game launches on consoles. So, what I want to do first is take a look at these notes, what the developers say that they're focused on, if I think their hearts are in the right place or their minds in the right place, and then some of my thoughts of changes that I like or changes that I wish would not be here, or changes that I wish would come instead. So let's go and take a look at these and see what we can make of these notes. So not gonna read all of it. The main point is that they're outlining some of the biggest changes here, and let's see what they have to say. So first off, the core gameplay, we find projectiles lead to a lot of chaos and unclear outcomes, so we're making changes to their functionality. Most projectiles will be deleted when you hit point champions or an assist champ if they fire that projectile. This includes wind wall, time winder, rockets, mushroom, etc. This is a great change because while I wouldn't say that like zoning in 2XKO is necessarily the strongest thing, I would argue that specific projectiles do run the game. This one right here, I'm looking at you. Time Winder is freaking nuts, and they have nerfed it a few times, and yet I still think it is ridiculous how long it lasts on the screen, how Echo, he's become more and more punishable over time, which is great, but this is just one of the best tools in the game as an assist as well as the point champion. It just kind of locks down neutral for a long time, and it makes it just kind of frustrating because every time I think Time Winder's about to disappear and I can run past it, I get got by it, right? And so it's frustrating. I don't like fighting against it, and so this one especially, I value that. Aerial projectiles now place champs into an interrupt or counter hit state during recovery. I love this because some characters can jump back projectile, and they don't risk much. I think this is a fantastic change. Makes it to where you actually have to consider, hey, I'm in a counter hit state, which means I could get launched way higher, way further, get a lot more damage done to me based on that counter hit state. So this is a great change too. We are removing the ability to charge projectile assists when tagged out. We aren't happy with the gameplay that's emerging from this behavior. Now, with this one, I'm a little bit curious exactly what this means. People have already said what they think it means, and they're probably right. What it reads to me is, let's say that I am I'm charging a projectile, my assist is in, and then I call in my assist and I keep on charging that projectile, right, as the point who's now the assist, now that they've been tagged out. That's one potential interpretation of it, that you're no longer going to be able to do that. We'll see in the 20 if they mean that, or if they mean something slightly different. Because, I mean, charging projectile assists, they took away the ability to charge assists, you know what I mean? Outside of, what is it, sidekick? I think sidekick you can, but it's edge case. So anyway, don't know exactly what this one means, but I think it's in lieu with the rest of it. Overall, them attacking projectiles right before their big projectile character comes in, a literal sniper in Caitlyn, I think is a good move. I think it shows that we're thinking about these things. We know that the game is not fun if you're forced to just be in a zoning war, right? Or especially considering how bad zoning is for some characters, it's so tough to deal with zoning. And there should be bad matchups, I get it, but they're considering the risk reward of projectiles and the confusion. I like this too, that too often there's confusion when projectiles are left on screen, even if the point character or the assist character gets hit. I think that's a great change. Okay, hitting assists doesn't have much meaning and is contributing heavily to runaway, so we're adding a 4-second cooldown when you hit an assist, We hope this leads to more thoughtful assist calls and lets you swing momentum more easily. Another change I am all for, because this does not change the way you can use your assists in combos or in pressure or in like fun situations. This changes the way that you call your assists in neutral, because many of these assists, Time Wider especially, you call them out of neutral and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, you now either control the neutral, you control the game, or you both just have to kind of wait for a second and then start fighting each other. So I think this is a fantastic change. It also, because yeah, there's no reason, there's not much of a reason to attack the assist character, because while it technically causes a little bit of damage to them and it technically causes a little bit of cooldown, adding a 4-second cooldown when the base cooldown is 2 is a gigantic incentive, because this means that if you called out a bad assist and I've hit your assist, that means that me, who likely still has my assist, and I am now in control of the game. I've earned the chance to put you on the defensive or make my approach, right? Fantastic change. I think this is only a positive. Assist champions peace out if they get hit while KO'd. Now, my thought on this whole peace out thing, one, they leave the screen, obviously, but this means that they're gone, like you cannot use the assist anymore. Is that what this means? What does peace out mean, right? Like, I see it, I'm reading it, and that's the first thing that came to my mind, was if my assist gets hit while they're KO'd, they peaced out as in they're gone for the rest of the round after I killed their character, then they come back, or the rest of the game, or is it just simply they're immediately taken off the board in terms of like in that specific moment? I don't know. However, I do think that is a good change. I think we'll see how it's executed. This is a lovely change for a character like me, because I really needed this. All 8-frame jabs are now 7-frame jabs. So this is for Darius. I didn't know Darius had 8-frame jab. Alawi, Blitzcrank, and Braum. I play Alawi. I played Alawi since the very, very first chance I got to play the game. And having a 7-frame jab is going to be a huge, huge help for her, because it means that I can actually challenge gaps in pressure. I can actually punish some things. I'm not as defenseless and useless. So I might be as a player, but my character on the defensive isn't as defenseless. I think that's wonderful. And then they are talking about their first set of nerfs. So Echo, Yasuo, Ahri, and Teemo are overrepresented, and we want to do one targeted nerf on each that we expect will bring down their power. So Echo can no longer teleport out of grab recovery. This is good. It takes away one of the most sick things about Echo, so I'm sad about that. But this means that when he has his install pressure, as well as when he has his like Time Wander thing behind him, you now don't get killed. Zushi, come here. You now like don't just die if you get grabbed, because it's supposed to be grab is like the safe thing to take, but if you get grabbed, you're dying, and if you get overhead, you're dying. If you get low, you're dying, right? And so my interpretation of this is grab is no longer as scary. Ahri throwing an aerial fireball no longer refreshes her air dash. I've always found the number of air dashes she has and she gets to be confusing, so I think this is a great change. Yasuo, there's more recovery on his medium moves, which means they get improved hitbox on one of them. Totally fine with that. Teemo's getting his remaining nerfs from the hotfix that went out last year. They talked about this. They did a hotfix because Teemo was supposedly too broken on launch, but I thought he was okay. This includes additional requirements for badges, less duration on bushfire, and small nerfs to his supers. Cool. Okay, so buffs. Meaningful and targeted changes for all other champions. For all other champions, besides those 4 they listed. For some, this is a general suite or general suite of buffs on underused moves. For others, it includes change functionality. Blitzcrank needed a lot. So his hurt boxes and normals on his medium, heavy, running heavy are significantly improved. They cannot throw out their buns in neutral. Now they'll win interactions much more often. This is great, because I think Blitz was probably the worst character in the game, in my opinion. So I think this is good to see him get buffed. Braum keeps unbreakable when performing S2 super while in unbreakable. This is crazy, dude. It used to be you had to decide to give up the buff, right? To have a slightly higher damage on the super. Or you did your route. So that way you did not, you spent your buff and then used the buff, then you used the super to get the buff back, right? So them taking away that mental gymnastics now, it makes him less interesting to use as someone who doesn't play him, but as someone who's best friend in this game. I'm talking to you, Lassie. Someone who plays against a Braum all the time. I know you like decisions like that. So we'll see what you feel about this when the time comes. Comment if you want. Like, it takes away a foundational part of his game, but it makes him simply just better. You get to use your super whenever you want. You don't have to worry if you have your buff or not have your buff. You always end with your buff. That's huge. That's huge. And that's just the beginning. That's the tip of the Braum iceberg. As an enhanced back assist is his shield. Is this the shield that comes in and you just get stuck and you hit the shield and the point character kills you. So back assist is enhanced. It will make Braum feel big and strong, and now he has a usable super when corded while unblockable. So a buffed back assist, they already buffed it once. I don't know what they're going to do to buff it again. Braum's shield, I think, is very underrated, and I'm gonna steal Lassie's opinion because he said something that I thought was pretty interesting and pretty helpful. Braum has bad matchups against like the top tiers, and especially Yasuo, because Yasuo can like break the shield. But that shield is so good, and it has gotten better over time, and it's getting only better in this patch. So Braum, whom I think is stronger than most people think he is, because he can just landslide you, or you know, what's it called? A blizzard version of a landslide. You know what it's called? Snow slide. I don't know, something else. Avalanche. Way better. He can avalanche you, but he has to get it going, right? But any combo he does, he can usually end in getting the buff, and now you are kind of screwed because you have to deal with his armor. So great for Braum. Darius is able to charge his apprehend. You can't do follow-ups, but are plus after, allowing you to effectively bait parry while on offense. This is another huge thing. Darius's primary weakness has been pretty straightforward pressure, and the only times for like gaps are his overhead and his and apprehend, which if you are not pairing apprehend, then go into practice mode and practice and look for it, because you need to parry it to get Darius off you. If you aren't parrying it, then Darius can just do whatever he wants, and you're kind of screwed. So the fact that he can now charge it means you have to now actually react and change your timing. So maybe don't go in practice mode yet, wait till the patch drops, and then go practice and see the difference between the charged and the not charged. I'm curious of how long he can charge it. Jinx, back S1, is now significantly better on hit with increased hit stun. Now launches grounded opponents. It doesn't scale damage nearly as much, opens up new neutral options and combo routes. So her back S1, straight up buff, better combos, better in neutral. Cool. Now we get to one of my characters, Illaoi. Her neutral heavy and her just frame do more damage, but her mediums do less damage. Illaoi players will be rewarded for big punishes now. This was a problem for me. I wanted to do, oh, excuse me. There we go, guys. Sorry about that. I always wanted to punish with heavies or lights. To be fair, lights, I know it's bad, but I always want to punish with lights or heavies. And mediums are your punish tools, 100%. So now actually getting a reward for starting with a heavy, I think is great. I hope that her neutral heavy doesn't just do more damage, but more consistently links into her other combo options. Simple example, neutral heavy into down heavy. That thing whiffs from like a lot of ranges, which for Illaoi, you don't want to go into that. You want to go into heavy into her down S2, run up, and then do the tentacle combos after that. However, it would be nice to have some more consistency. So I hope it not just gets more damage, but it gets a little bit more range. Her mediums were always very strong, and so them doing less damage, I think that's a fine, you know, I think it's going to make her objectively worse. And her just frame doing more damage is fun. I want to experiment with that and see how much more it does. Vi can cancel charge knuckle down. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Into footwork at the cost of knuckle down being slightly lower to the ground. I hate this. Vi is so terrifying. And so I'm going to struggle with her no matter what. It'll be slightly worse in neutral, but but on offense, it opens up new pressure and combo opportunities because she for sure needed that. I'm a Vi struggler, if that makes sense. I struggle against this character, but I think this is good for her. Warwick is able to combo airborne opponents easier. I think that's good because his like dive makes it a weird combo state. And S2 Rekka into super is much more consistent. Wonderful. His overall power is largely the same, but he'll feel much more natural to play at beginner and intermediate advanced levels. I think Warwick's primary issue has been that Warwick is good because he has a ridiculous guess overhead. And that overhead is so strong that it makes the rest of his kit usable, but not as incentivized to use it. And it feels bad to play Warwick and want to only use his overhead because it's his best tool when he has all these other tools that I think are really, really cool. That's my opinion. His overhead is just, you call an assist to make it safe. If it hits, you get a full, a good combo. Could be full combo depending on your team. And I just want to use all his other stuff. His other stuff is really cool. So I just want more incentive to use that. We'll see if that actually is changed along with this. It sounds like they're not changing too much. But yeah, then after that, we got bug fixes. It's going to be a long patch. That's what they say here. There's going to be some quite long notes to rough up some edges and clean up a couple of tweaks. But that is the patch for Season 1, the official launch of 2XKO. So, overall, I think that this patch is good. I think it's tackling what I find is to be some of the more troublesome parts of the game. Clearing up what happens with projectiles is great. Clearing up incentive to attack assists is great. Echo not being able to teleport off of throw is great too. I think that's another like fantastic thing. I'm thinking now it's probably on whiff or on hit. That's my interpretation. It's got to be at least on whiff, so you can jump it and punish it. But it's probably also on hit. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. My first thought was on hit. Now I'm thinking it's just on whiff, but we'll mess with that when it comes time. Either way, giving some nerfs to Echo's throw game, which is definitely a good step in the right direction. And some of these buffs are crazy. Braum getting his buff, I think, is going to make him even stronger. Like, significantly even stronger. I think Braum is still not going to be at the very top of the meta because he's slower than many of the other top tiers. But as they're all coming down and Braum is rising up, I think Braum's doing just fine. Darius is in a good place. He's going to be even better place. Vi's in a great spot, so this will just make her better, sure. Warwick is... People have been realizing that he's strong because you can't react to that overhead realistically. And so, but him just getting able to do some of his other combos that aren't just the overhead combos a little bit easier, I think is great. So thoughts on the patch right now are good. Let's see what happens on January 20th when 2XKO Season 1 officially launches and the game comes to consoles. So all you guys who only have PlayStations or Xboxes can join in and join the fight. So looking forward to that. Look out for another video I have coming out. That's going to be my overall thoughts on Season 0 of 2XKO. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.